Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar ki Jai. Sarvam Yogi Ramsuratkumararpanastu. One more great chance to be grateful to Bhagwan for this wonderful opportunity, wonderful grace that He has bestowed for us to gather here in the powerful shrine of Bhagwan and sing His powerful name. Before we submit our today's prayer, we shall have a glimpse of His Nama's grace, the glory of His name. Srimati Kanti Shri Rajan has given a very interesting story, instructive, informative, and interesting. We shall see. We shall begin from the beginning of her story. Even as a kid, a very small kid, she used to go with her grandparents to Tapovanam, Swami Shri Shri Dhyanananda. And of course, afterwards, Tiruvannamalai, Bhagwan, Shri Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Her grandfather, Miss Shri Chellakkaninada, was very close to Bhagwan. Bhagwan was fond of him. And they used to talk quite a bit together. And this little girl used to sit around watching all that, not knowing what was happening. She also visited both the places with her parents. And then she says, though she was absorbed in what was happening around, she did not have an idea of what Swami was, but she was sitting before a supreme power. How could any kid know it? And yet, the attraction was there. She found herself going, visiting them willingly and happily. 1986, she had gone there for Bhagwan's darshan with her uncle Jairaj and auntie Vasaki. She was still a small girl, but she remembered Bhagwan asking her to sing a song on Ganesh Murti, Ganapati. She had no idea why Bhagwan was asking her to sing a song on Ganapati, and she was not prepared for it also. But then, with the help of her aunt, Vasuki, who sings well, she was able to manage Prabhu Ganapati. And then Bhagwan told her to learn a song on Shri Ganapati. She said yes, but then she could see the connection only when she got married on the auspicious day of Ganesh Chaturthi. Just see what the connection is. How far-fetched Bhagwan's vision is, though we do not know what is involved. And then Bhagwan asked her if she knew his name. She said Ramji, and Bhagwan, of course, shook his head in disapproval. And then she said Ramsurat something, Ramsurat Swami. Again Bhagwan shook his head. And finally she managed to say the right one with the help of her uncle Jaira, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. Now Bhagwan was happy, and then he made her say it 3 times. By doing it, she understood that he himself was initiating her into this powerful name. Afterwards, she understood that that is her only refuge, that Bhagwan lives in that name, in his entire being, and she took to it easily and happily. Now afterwards, Bhagwan asked her if she would like to ask him something. She could not remember, she could not see anything particularly, but then she said, my brother Kannan is doing his engineering. Please bless him to complete it successfully. My God. She had no idea what made her say that. She had absolutely no idea what was going to happen soon after that. But then she said the right thing, which again points out that without realizing, without knowing, we are made to say the right thing in the presence of the Supreme. No mistake can happen in his presence. Immediately, Bhagwan kept quiet for a few seconds, and then very critically he said, Kannan would be successful, and stopped there. He did not say the engineering or the examination or the degree. He simply said Kannan would be successful. We have to note this line because it's very, very meaningful. She didn't understand either at that time. But soon after that, her brother Kannan met with a terrible accident. There was a hemorrhage in his head, and there was absolutely no hope or chance of his survival. The doctors had given up hope, all hope. He was admitted in a hospital in Bombay, and once before, some time back, I had given the whole story in all its details. Enough to say that by Bhagwan's grace, pure grace of Bhagwan, he survived this attack. Now, I think it was in 1990, 94, perhaps. She was a young girl now, and they started to look for a bridegroom for her. Now, many many possibilities, many prospective horoscopes had come, and they narrowed it down. They shortlisted only two, one from Shivkasi and one from Chennai. But then her mother was very particular that only Swami should choose. So they went there for darshan of Bhagwan. It was 1995 or 96. When they came to the ashram with the girl, with Kanti Shri, Bhagwan was giving darshan in dining hall that time. Kanti Shri was a very happy and carefree girl. She loved being in Chennai. She had no idea about those prospective bridegrooms, but she was happy in Chennai, and all that she wanted was to continue to live in Chennai. So that made her prayer. When she entered the ashram, all that she wanted from Bhagwan was that she should continue to live in Chennai after marriage. Whoever it was. Now, as soon as her mother gave the horoscopes to Bhagwan to choose, Bhagwan said, Kanti Shri's parents or grandparents, they would choose the right bridegroom. But then her mother, Srimati Bhuvaneshwari, insisted on Bhagwan choosing. So finally Bhagwan said, Shri Rajan from Chennai, to the great delight of Kanti Shri. Now she knew after marriage she would continue to live in Chennai. She says, both her husband and her son were fortunate to receive his blessings. Now, in 2011, she became a French teacher. No, I think in 1992 itself she had become a teacher, and that is when they started to look for her bridegroom. And now, in 2011, the French embassy designed a program back in France for training the French teachers, the Indian French teachers. So Kanti Shri and her colleague, the two of them were selected for the course. It was a 2-week course. And she very happily went on this. They had gone there, attended the course. She found it very delightful. She liked it so much. She liked France so much. And then on the last day, when she took leave of her friends, she and her colleague had come to the airport, de Gaulle airport. And then there she was talking to her friends there before going on the flight. Now she became nostalgic of this place. She was just jokingly commenting to one of her friends there, what if we should get lost in this place? Then we would continue to be in France for some more time. It was said very happily, jokingly, but she did not know that whatever she spoke had something indicative of what was to come. She had developed a desire to continue to be in France for some more time. 2 weeks was too short a time, and nothing wrong in her wishing for this young lady. But what happened afterwards was something else, a different story. Now she found that the 2 tickets bought by the embassy for both of them, Kanti Shri and a colleague, in her ticket, her name was misspelled. So they had reissued a ticket for her, and it happened to be another flight. Now as soon as she found out, she took leave of her colleague and other friends and rushed to the gate she was allotted for her flight. To her dismay, she found on the list her name was missing for the flight. So she could not go on the flight. How unfortunate. Somebody said there, your flight, your ticket is with a colleague there, and you should have taken that flight. So immediately she returned to the place, only to find that the flight had already gone. The colleague had left. Now, just imagine Kanti Shri's position. It was a strange land. She had no money to buy a new ticket. And then, what could she do? Those people had said very definitely that she had to find another flight. Now she was in a fix, and the only thing that she could remember, the true friend, the friend everyone would turn to in times of difficulty, in times of crisis, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. She had a beautiful habit that whenever she went on traveling, any travel, she would take a notebook, a Nama notebook with her, and she would be writing it even during the travel. Now all she could remember, all she could seek, the only refuge, the source of solace, is Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar. So she took the Nama notebook and started to write. She prayed to Swami Anananda and Yogi Ramsuratkumar and started to write the name. Now her mobile had very little talk time, little charge, and she had to do something, and that is when it struck her. She had the helpline given by the embassy. So immediately, with the little talk time she had on the phone, she started to ring up frantically. There was very little time to lose. And that was a Sunday. There was no hope that anybody would attend immediately. It took some time though. And finally somebody said, okay, something will be done. And soon an official came to meet her. He said, the next 24 hours, all the flights are full. They could not find any flight for her to go back to Chennai. But then she had been writing the Nama, she had been praying, and Bhagwan would never let her down. And what was more, very soon there came the news that they had found a flight just 1 hour from them, just only 1 hour from them. And that was to Bombay. So they resettled her on this flight. And what was more, they did not collect any money for the ticket. See how quickly every problem was solved. She was totally stranded with very little money in her purse, and both the flights were lost. And her phone had very little talk time. So the only help, of course the helpline was given to her, but the true helpline was Bhagwan's Nama. It's only after she started writing it, She remembered the helpline, and with a little talk time she rang up, and some official came, and soon everything was arranged. And now see the other miracles. She got a flight, 1 hour, very soon, in 1 hour, to Bombay, and then she found a connecting plane also, and she was back home, safe. And to her surprise, her colleague, who had taken an earlier flight, had not yet arrived in Chennai. That flight was delayed, and what was more, the colleague's travel bag also, she could collect only 1 week after. There was some problem. Whereas just see, after writing the Nama, an official comes there and tells her the next 24 hours, full. So there's a block again. By the grace of the Nama, immediately they found a flight and they put her on it without taking money for the ticket. And she very soon, very safely reached Chennai without any more problem. So you see what happens before the Nama, what happened, and what happened after she began the Nama. How Nama comes to our rescue in times of difficulties. Our Bhagwan has assured that Father make all those difficult situations into great blessings for his devotees. Here, I chose this particularly, rather Bhagwan chose this for me because today's Bhiksha, when I stood before Bhagwan, he dropped this Bhiksha into my hand. Now one point is very, very clear here. She said it very jokingly because she developed a desire to continue for some more time in France. It is very natural. But then that desire cost her so much. Because, she has always been chanting the name and writing. So those of us who do this Nama writing and chanting, it's a lot of tapas. So when we have a wish and when we express it, we have to be very careful. Just see what she said jokingly. Had to happen somehow or the other, and then she had to seek the refuge. Seek refuge in Bhagwan's Nama, and everything changed dramatically after that. The wish, the Nama, Bhagwan used to say, when you keep chanting the name, there is no need to pray separately. Which means the Nama is Nami himself. He is all-pervasive, all-knowing, all-powerful. So he knows all our wishes. A Nama, like the light, it would help fulfill our wishes. When we pray to Bhagwan, it's better to pray that this is my wish. Yet, I am praying to you for this wish to be fulfilled, yes. But Swami, you know better than me. You know what is best for me. Even though I want this to happen, I pray to you, please grant only what is best for me. This prayer is always safe. Even when we wish, we must be careful if you are doing a lot of japa. If Nama is constantly going on inside, the Nama is aware of your wishes. We do not know which wish it's going to fulfill. So it's better to be careful with our wishes in the first place, and when we pray, we can ask Bhagwan for the wish fulfillment, and yet we should add one more line. Bhagwan, that only if you think it is best for me. Otherwise, you grant only what is best for me. You know better. So sometimes very playfully we say something, and then that begins to act. For some strange reasons we do not know. I remember one particular incident. One day I was watching Ramayana, not now, several years back. Maybe 30, 40 years back. When I was watching Ramayana, Valmiki Rishi would complete the Ramayana saying that it's very sweet to sing. It's a wonderful story, and Rama is the exemplary character for everyone to follow. And then he added, what a beautiful experience of Ananda I had when I created it, when I composed it. And suddenly one of the disciples there said, Swami, we also felt the Ananda it carried for all of us. When we wish that this Ramayana continues, immediately Valmiki would be shocked. What are you saying? You want Ramayana to continue? The Pattabhishekam is over, the coronation is over, now Rama is happily ruling Ayodhya with his wife and Parivar. Now you want this Ramayana to continue? And then, there would be a trace of sadness on his face, and he would say, okay, this is Father's will, God's will that has come out through your mouth. And true to that, the Uttar Ramayana would take place after that. All of us know the story. Bhagwan also used to warn me. You are with this beggar all the time. Mind what you think, what you say. So all those people who are chanting the name, they are doing tapas. So they have to be very careful with what they wish for. They have to be very careful with their prayer also. It is much easier to add one more line to our prayer. Bhagwan, even though this is my wish and I want it to come true, I also beg you to grant only what is best for me. Whatever you think is best for me, only that should be granted. That would be the safest and the best for us. A very interesting, delightful story. I came across this article. So I learned some of the details I missed out this morning. I didn't know, but after I read this article, I have added all those details as well. So through Kanti, we have learned this. Let us be very careful with our wish. Let us be very careful with our prayer. And also see, when Bhagwan asked, do you want to say anything? She said, my brother should complete his BE successfully. The word successfully had come out of her mouth. And Bhagwan caught hold of that. He said he would be successful and stopped there. So Kanti said that her brother was successful in surviving. It meant a certain death. The accident was so severe that the doctors had no hope at all. Nobody had any hope that he would survive at all. It's purely by Bhagwan's grace he was successful. So these are glimpses of the glory of the name, the Nama and the Nam. Now this Nami is here right in front of us. With his raised hand in benediction and a beautiful smile on his lips, ready to give us what we want. Of course, Bhagwan used to make us sing the song, Kurai Ondrumillai Maraimuthi Kanna. I have no complaint, I have no complaint. When you are there to give me what I need, you may not give me what I want, but you will definitely give me what I need. So you see there's a difference between what I want and what I need. So one should be careful between the two. So let's pray to Bhagwan that this is what we want. We want the fulfillment of this. That is our wish. That Bhagwan would give us what we need, or whatever is best for us. Bhagwan, we beg you crores of times to come to our rescue too. Now the world, the whole world is stranded without much help from any aspect of science, any aspect of the medical world. And people are frightened, they are panicking. Though of course now we are getting the news that it has reduced much, and people in different countries are resuming their routine. But in India, things have improved, yes, but still it has not come to normalcy. We beg you, Bhagwan, to free the entire humanity from the deadly grip of this virus and bring back normalcy in every aspect of life. Kindly uproot the panic and other negativities from the hearts of people. Arrest the rapid spread of the diseases. Enter those medicines so that they could kill the entire crowd of viruses. And all those people stranded for lack of facilities, medical facilities, by your grace, they should get all that they need and become well and return home safe. And Bhagwan, all those warriors who are fighting the disease, despite the challenges, unmindful of their own comfort, at the very risk of their lives, for the sake of the other lives, please give them protection and all-round welfare. We also beg you for a boost to the economy, because both lives and livelihoods have been affected very sadly. And above all, we beg you for constant remembrance of your name, and that we should be blessed to be a willing and fitting instrument in your hands, so that we go about our life as an offering to you. And Bhagwan, we seek that supreme blessing by which we would know, we would get the best for all of us, and that's being able to see only your presence and your blessings in every happening of life. Jai Yogi Ramsuratkumar.
Yogi Ramsuratkumar.